What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Reseller Life. My name is John. I am a full-time reseller. Um, I do pretty much all of my reselling online on eBay. And today, what I got for you is a sold video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through about 25 of my sales in the last couple weeks or so, or week. I grabbed or I uploaded just a handful of them, here or there, try to make a variety of different items that I've sold. Uh, it's in the month of October, but it's about, altogether, it's about a couple days worth of sales. We do about 10 to 25 sales a day. So, and we got about 25 for you on this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each item that I've sold, tell you what I sold it for, where we purchased it, and what we paid for it. So, and some of these are not going to have an accurate number on it because we took best offer on some of them. So, first one here is, this is a yearbook. This is from the University of Arizona. This yearbook is from 1989. It is new. This is the price that we have on the books. We actually have about 10 different years between the early 80s, from 1983 all the way up to 1992. I actually came into a lot of 200 of these yearbooks, and I paid about 50 cents a piece for them. So we mark them up at this price, $97.35, because they're all very rare, and there is no competition for brand new yearbooks, dead stock like these online. So we put the price high. We put a best offer in, and considering I paid only 50 cents a piece for them, we'll take pretty much any offer, because I have 200 yearbooks sitting in my kitchen, because moisture and mice get into my warehouse. So I don't want the moisture or the mice getting to these books, and I don't want to fill up my totes with these books because they weigh about, I'd say about 7 pounds a piece, and they would make the totes awfully heavy. So anyhow, this is a 1989 U of A, University of Arizona yearbook, and we took a best offer on this one for $20. And when it comes to yearbooks, you want to look up or Wikipedia them. The yearbook, put the year of the school, and under Wikipedia you want to look up notable alumni, and you'll get famous people, actresses, athletes, actors, actresses, athletes, um, um, politicians, historical people, scientists, stuff like that. And if that school in that year has those people and they are in these yearbooks, you want to put it in the title. Like this one here has Sean Elliott. He is a famous NBA basketball star, and Trevor Hoffman, excuse me. He was a Hall of Fame baseball player. There's a few other guys in here that were also famous, quite a few actually, but I kind of went with the most notable. So 1989 University of Arizona yearbook, paid 50 cents, got $20 for it. Next up, we have this was actually in one of our haul videos. This is a Browning Supernatural shooting shirt. You can tell that's a shooting shirt because up here on the shoulder it has an extra pad, a quilted pad, and that little deer right there is the Browning emblem. We paid, I believe we got this at the Goodwill on half price day, and we got it for $2.50, and it sold for $17.60. All these items I don't do free shipping on, so the buyers do pay for the shipping. This is a cordless Panasonic headset phone, they call it, a headset or receiver. These are really, really easy to list. You get a model number on the inside typically, right, or on the bottom. Let's see. There we go. So there's the model number. Really easy to look up. Real easy to test when you get the base. I find these at the bins or the Goodwill outlet stores, and they typically come in a set of like a home receiver and 5 other units. So I'll find a handful of these at a time with their receivers, and I like to sell them individually, or at least I used to, because I know I can get about $10 a piece per phone and another $10 for each receiver. And I pay 89 cents a pound for textiles like this or electronics at my will. So for this here, it weighs about, I would say, 6 ounces. So I paid maybe about, I would say, 30 cents for it, and I sell them for about $10 a piece. And even better is I'll find about 5 of these at a time. So it's one listing with a quantity of 5. I just put in the description that it has scrapes, scratches, abrasions, and you know, of that sort, and it kind of gives a common description of all 5. So yeah, 30 cents, and we sold this one for $9.63. Next up, this is an older camera filter. This goes on the top of the lens. I got this out of a storage locker, which happened to be a photographer, or I must have had a photography store, and he had a huge collection of camera accessories and cameras. There must have been 300 older cameras, 35 millimeter, 55 millimeter, tons of cameras in there. And so I must have been about 300 of those and another 1,000 accessories. And we pretty much listed all of it. And it's been all been listed for at least a year, and it's just been selling piece by piece. It's all pretty much gone at this point. This is one of the last pieces we found. Pretty much have a couple pennies into this, and this one here sold for $5.16. This here is a pair of men's Columbia Omni-Wick zip-off convertible pants, which means they convert into shorts. They're made out of that kind of all-weather material. It's like a really thinner material, if you can tell. And I got these at the Goodwill bins. We pay $1.79 per pound for the clothing there, and this probably weighed about a pound. We sold it for $14. Sold really fast too. I listed this just a few days ago. This here is a AC adapter. I pick up a lot of these as well at the bins, and also I get them at a local auction where I buy large, basically truck bed, like a standard truck bed, or like a laundry bin. Let me say, a laundry bin full of wires and cables and this sort of stuff. And a lot of the people there at the auction will buy it just for the scrap value, or try to get about half, buy it for half of the scrap value, and take it straight from the auction house to the scrap yard and scrap it. I do not do that. I do scrap some of it, but I will go through it and I will find individual AC adapters and power supplies and power cords, and I will either lot them up and sell them in a lot, or I'll sell ones like this individually, because as you can see, the model number right there it's a PXL 2000 Fisher Price, and the model number is a 717. They're extremely easy to list. I can probably list these in about 2 or 3 minutes, and I can list quite a few. And basically, if it sells for $8 and above, I'll list it. If it sells for less than that, I send it to the scrapyard. And typically, if it sells less than that, it doesn't sell very fast either. Some of these sell a lot more commonly than others. So I have about 25 cents into this, and it sold for $10.97. This is another one of those lots. I got this from the auction house. I got it, like a big bin of wires. These are just basic power adapters that you would find on the back of receivers or DVD players or VHS players or stuff like that. They're all common. They're real common. They're all the same. They're not all the same brand, but they are the same model, like style. There was about 300 of these in one of the bins that I found, and the bins that I do get, these are very common in them. So I made lots of 10, and we listed them. I have a quantity here of 5 for this one. So it's one listing. I put a description in the description that some of them may vary in length, color, and condition, but they're all working. And we get about $10 for the lot, so we get about $1 a piece, and I pay roughly 25 cents a piece. Oops, I don't know why I'm going that way. Why did I do that? Excuse me. You saw my seller hub. All right, next up. This is another one. I don't believe I got this out of one of those big bins. I might have gotten this out of a yard sale or a storage locker, and decided it was better to part out a console. And I believe I had a lot of about 4 of these, and half of them have sold. This one sold for $6.74, and I think the previous one sold for about $10. It's been listed for a little while too. The way I do my listings, I run everything for 30 days, and after 30 days, I lower the price by 10% on each one of my items. So this came out of a storage locker. This is some sort of crank or engine or shaft, something like that, drive shaft type thing. It came off of a sailboat. I bought a storage locker in Arizona that was full of parts and pieces of a gentleman that was building or refurbishing an entire 60-foot sailboat in Arizona, which we don't have any oceans out here. But he, from what I saw in the storage locker, he had came from San Diego, and he was a big-time sailor. This, I really had no clue what it was, but I know it's a unique part, and it had a model number, which is huge. It had a brand, and it had a model number. It's a very unique part. I couldn't find anything like it. I had to Google it. I couldn't find anything on eBay. It's an older part, but it was in good condition. Good condition. It was functional. It was moving freely, and it took about 2, maybe 3 weeks to sell. Maybe not even that much, but it sold pretty good. $40.75. Got it out of a storage locker, so I probably have about $1 into it. These are Carhartt overalls or coveralls. It's made out of they call it a sandblast material, something like that. I might be wording that wrong, but these were not in great condition. They had marks and stains and abrasions and paint marks on them. But these are super expensive. They work great too. If you live in an area that gets really cold, the wind does not get through these things. So they are pricey. New, they're definitely over $100. So I found these at the bins. They're definitely heavier, so I paid up for them. I probably paid about $10 for them and sold them for $33.09. This here is a Delco Starter. It's actually a starter for a boat. I bought it for my boat, actually. We were gonna install it, and I was able to get the starter up and running again. That was on there already, and then we sold the boat, and I forgot to give the new owners this starter that I never put on. So we actually paid $50 for this initially, and that was with free shipping. So it sold for $32.52, and I think they paid at least $17 for shipping it. It was pretty heavy. So we got some of our money back on it, and they paid overall the same thing that we did. It sold very fast too. This is a military shirt coat type thing. I'm not sure. I mean, some people call it a jacket. Some people call them shirts. I try that. Sometimes I put both in the description. I got these at a yard sale about 6 months ago, and I got about 8 of them for $50. They wanted $20 a piece for them, and I was like, oh, that's a little steep. I do like them. I wanted them, and I basically told them, I was like, would you take $50 and I'll take all of them. And the husband was actually on his way out to looks like he was going to go to a soccer game, and he told his wife, just go for it, just get rid of them. So we got 8 of these brand new with tags. Some of them sold for as high as $40, but like I said, it was about 6 months ago, and I bumped the price 10% each month. And this was the last one to sell, and it sold for $19.32. This is a vintage Western Levi's denim shirt. This was heavy duty. This was in impeccable condition. It was vintage. It was heavy. The description on here isn't great. I would have just put a better description on it. This description was built and listed. This listing was built by one of our older employees. So they kind of left out some keywords, and I would have put excellent use condition. I would have put vintage. Um, they didn't even put denim in the title. That's unfortunate because the denim Levi's shirts and the vintage shirts sell really well. I probably would have got closer to $30 for this. I think if the keywords were better. This was listed for a while. I don't remember where I got this. This probably came from the bins, which means it would have costed about $2, and it sold for $14.43. Keywords are important. Good keywords. This is a Samsung VHS DVD Combo Recorder. You can find a lot of DVD VHS recorders out, or DVD VHS combos out there, and they are all pretty much they're all sellable, pretty much. Some are less than others. Some you can maybe get $25 for, and some you can get $300 for. But the ones that you get a little bit more for are the ones that are recorders as well, which means that you can record from your VHS to the DVD or off your TV to the DVD. This was listed for a few months. I believe I paid $20 for this, and it sold for $98.98. This we got out of the bins. This is a Volkswagen owner's manual. Owner's manuals do really good. Some much better than others. This is kind of a standard one. I'm actually happy with the price that I went for. It went for $16.48. I probably paid $1 to $1.50 for it. If you can find some BMW or Mercedes or Lexus or Audi, or it'd be wonderful if you can find like a Tesla or something like that, owner's manual. So those ones like that will get up above the $50 range. So look out for car owner manuals. This I got from an auction, and I bought it with a pallet of electronics, and there was about 6 or 7 of these 1 and 2 terabyte hard drives. Didn't have any of the accessories and cables that go to them because those go into those big wire bins at these auctions. So they don't just sell the wire bins and stuff like that. They sell other items at these places. And this was a whole pallet full of electronics. Be careful of some of these auctions because typically when those electronics are on these pallets, sometimes it's because they're being replaced and upgraded from big companies, and sometimes they're there because they're broke, or they're fried, or they're not working. So you do have to go through and test these. We ordered one set of cables and power supplies, and we tested all, I forget exactly, there were about 7 or 8 of them, and one of them was not working. It was working partially, but wasn't working enough to sell it as working. So it was sold as parts of repair. Overall, I probably have about $1 into this, and they all sold for between $40 and $80. This one itself sold for $43.95, and it is the last one, or was the last one. All right, this here, it's a Chilton's Mechanics Handbook. These handbooks do well. The truck ones do better than the car ones, and sometimes depending on the car. Some of these are for specific models. This is kind of overall mechanics and sheet metal repair. Some are for specific cars, or cars within a certain group of years. For the most part, these sell fairly well. I wouldn't pay any more than 50 cents to $1 for one of these, because some of them aren't as good as others, and you can get as low as like $3 for them. And some of these, I sold a larger book like this for a Toyota Avalon just a couple weeks ago, and that one sold for $80. So some of them bring really good money, and you wouldn't think, just a Toyota Avalon. It's a nice car. It's an okay car, but it's nothing. It's not luxury. This came out of that camera storage locker. This is a Minolta AF 35 to 75 millimeter lens. This has been listed for 6 to 7 months, and it finally sold for $16.82, and we probably have about a quarter into it. Next up, I never know how to pronounce these waffle makers. Vitanio. I probably murdered that. Anyhow, these do sell. These are great, and they did kind of like a special edition thing for a while. I don't know if you can see that, read it, but it actually says Mickey and Minnie Mouse. So this is a Disney one. This might be, there we go. So it's a sandwich maker, waffle maker, and it's got the faces of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. So you can put you can put the name of this brand, which is the V word right here, and then you can also put Disney in there. And these are very popular. I get basically, I've gotten, this is the lowest I've actually gotten on this. This was listed for about 2 months, and we got $39.75 for it. I got this one at the bin, so I probably paid about $5 for it by weight. But I've actually gotten up to $100 for this exact model, but that one was in prestige condition. I don't even think they had used it. They probably bought it just as a collectible. But it doesn't have to be the Disney edition to sell that brand. They're very collectible. These are a pair of Skechers black leather or pleather shoes. I typically wouldn't pick up a pair of basic Skechers like this. I do like the Skechers shape ups, and there is some other models in Skechers that sell well. The only reason why I picked these up because they were like brand new. They were in really, really good condition. They have been listed for about 2 months. I believe I paid $2.50 for them, and they sold for $15.42. All right, so this came out of the auction. Also, these are adapters for, well, they're Switchcraft. They had models number, they had a description on them. I'm not a video audio kind of guy, and this is a video audio kind of thing, more so audio. So these are plugs, like it'd be like the end of a plug for a microphone. Some of them have the needle type auxiliary where you can plug it right into an amp, like a stand-up speaker amp, and these ones you can like take that off and attach these, and it'll plug into like an amp regulator type thing. I don't want to talk like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to audio. I just know that they were new. We got them from the local auction off of a pallet of microphones and other audio equipment, and this was on it. So we have about $1 into this. They sold for $12.21. This is a Sylvania. I'm not going to try to say the first word. Funei. I probably tortured that. So I always pick up remotes when I find them, as long as they're not like your basic cable satellite remotes, like your DirecTVs or your Cox Cable or your Dish Network type ones, and are not for like old bubble TVs that people can't even give away. This was, I saw that there was record, play, fast forward, that sort of thing on there, so it drew my attention. And typically I don't even look them up. I just buy them because I normally get these from the bins, and by weight they cost me a nickel maybe, or I get them from a friend of mine that does a huge yard sale every week on a full acre of land. He's also a friend. He's a friend of mine. He does storage lockers as well. But I probably paid about 5 cents if I got it at the bins, and about 25 cents if I got it from a friend of mine. But either way, this one sold for $4.94. This is one of those bases for the phones that I get at the bins. This didn't sell for quite as high as I would like my items to sell for, $6.80. But like I said, I probably found 5 or 6 of these all the same. So it was one listing, times 5 or 6. So it's definitely worth it at that point. And by weight, I probably paid about 30 cents for it. Those phones and remotes sometimes are definitely long tail stuff. Some can sell fast, but I think for the majority of them, they're going to be sitting on them for a few months. So I won't be in a huge hurry to sell them because that typically don't sell real fast. This is a Reebok San Diego Chargers hoodie. It's I think it's a soft shell material. It's kind of a newer, modern material that people like. I really like it. I got this at the bins, and I probably paid about $2 for it. It was listed for about a week, and it sold for $15.82. They are now the Los Angeles Chargers. So I think this San Diego Charger stuff is definitely going to be a little bit more valuable um, within a few years. So if you want to sit on that San Diego Charger stuff, go for it. Wait 5-10 years, and it'll definitely be worth more money. And last but not least, we got these at the bins. They are Dockers Signature Khaki Relax Fit flat front pants. Flat front means they got that kind of more of a GQ kind of flat front. They don't have pleats next to the pockets, which are basically the little creases around the starting at the waistline and going down. The flat fronts don't have the pleated crease in the front. So those are good selling points. I think the flat fronts sell better than the pleated, but if I find them new with tags like this and no stains or rips at the bins, I'm definitely picking them up because Dockers they're decent sellers. New ones will sell for about $25 to $35, depending on the style, and the used ones will typically sell for about $10 to $13. That's with the buyer paying the shipping. So I probably have about $2 into these, and they sold for $32.38, and they took about 2 months to sell. And I just noticed something's kind of funny. I didn't list these. One of my old employees did, but if you can tell, if you look right down here, look at that. There's a toe in the party down there in the bottom right corner. Ugh. Anyhow, they sold still. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you learned something. I hope you guys found some new products that you can go out there and source, or you found some new ways to source. If you enjoyed this video, throw me a thumbs up. I definitely appreciate it. It helps me out, gets my videos out there, and definitely encourages me to make more. So thank you for tuning into my channel. I will try to come out with another video next week. Either a haul or another sold video, or take you on a treasure hunting adventure with me. But until then, we will catch you next time. And again, thank you for tuning in. All right. Good night, guys. Bye.